let everybody know that we're here. Hello, everyone in YouTube land.
Hello, hello, hello,
Hello, hello, hello.
That is not an echo.
Nope, that's just me. Shouldn't have an echo. I redid Loop Back a little while ago, so we should be good to go.
Yeah, sounds good on my end.
All right, well, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Greetings, programs, and we're back for another episode of the Nerd Cave Retro Show. My name is Jason Robbins.
And my name is Derek Diamond.
So it was a little chilly today. It was so chilly, I went and got a bowl and ran outside.
Yeah, it's, I love it, is really all I can say. I've been waiting for cold weather. It kind of sucks in a way here in the South because we talk about the humidity when it's hot, but it also factors in for the cold too.
Yeah.
Like and I've learned too as I get older, it hurts my knees, it hurts pretty much all my joints hurt.
Well, that's because
when
it
it's
goes
cold,
from
but-
like 80 degrees on Saturday, and here it is on Monday. It's like going to be 28 tonight. It's like that's 48 hours where it just dropped 60 degrees. Like, that's not normal.
I'm surprised I'm not sick yet
Oh,
because that usually happens.
I got sick on Saturday. I went to the toy thing where I got this Slimer back here up on the wall. And then we went out to eat, and by the time I got home, I wasn't feeling great. And I was like, I'm going to go lay down for a little bit. I ended up taking like a 4-hour nap Saturday afternoon just because I was just exhausted.
Was it like a more of a tired thing, or do you think it's because of something you ate?
I don't know. I think it was just a tired thing because it lasted until Sunday, about halfway through Sunday. And then today I feel fine.
Well, I think the time change too.
Yeah.
Usually causes that because it's messed with me all week, and I prefer like a more balanced take. Like I like for it to get dark around 7 personally.
I like around 6. Between 6 and 7 is good. That seems like the perfect time for the sun to go down. 5 o'clock's a little early, which is when it's been going down. I'm like, last week when I was getting off work at 4:30, it takes me 30 minutes to get home. So like I'm driving home and like the sun is going down below the horizon. I'm like, it's dark already. That's weird.
Yeah, it's when I worked at the Wahoos, when the time would change like this, we'd get off work at 5. So, and the front office is already locked by the time we leave. So I have to walk down the steps to go into the stadium and then down into the tunnel, then out into the parking lot. By then it would already be dark. So that made the walk a little uncomfortable sometimes.
But I also don't like the middle of summer when it stays daylight till like 11 o'clock at night. Like you're trying to go to bed at 10 and it's broad daylight outside. So let's get some middle ground here somewhere. Good 6:30. 6:30 is a nice, sundown, I think.
Yeah, it usually, it takes like a week or two for me to adjust to the time change both. Maybe eventually we'll get to a point where it won't change at all.
I just wish they'd stop it. I thought they passed something a few years ago where they were going to stop the time change, and then they just kind of forgot about it. Everybody still hates it. Nobody wants it. Why do we still do it?
I was about to say, you think they all forgot?
Probably. I don't know. But anything else you want to talk about before we go into the news this evening?
I don't think so. No, it's been pretty normal week. I did get back into DDP yoga, which I've now been back on for about a week now. So, my back and knees needed help. So I started back at it.
I think I'm going to do the same thing. I need to start stretching and doing stuff because I'm starting to do that old man grunt every time I get up and down.
I've been doing the same thing, so
it'll get worse.
That's really been about it.
Wait till you get past 40, then every move you make is like, "Ugh."
I've only got like a little less than a year to go before that.
But on that note, let's go into the news, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Most of tonight's stories were provided to us by Mr. Armez Jackson. And if you have a news story you'd like us to cover, send them to nerdcaveretro@gmail.com. And the first one tonight is from RetroDodo.com. It's 2025, and we're getting a brand new 8-bit game console. In the world of cloud streaming and teraflops, a gamer from New York is striving to release their own 8-bit home console with its own gaming infrastructure. Meet the Game Tank. Love that name. It's
Same.
simple controller and its chunky cartridges that are looking to bring 8-bit gaming back to the forefront. It's a brand new console from the mind of Port Washington-based Clyde Schaefer. It's based on the modern version of the 6502 microprocessor and is very much first and foremost a physical hardware device with no FPGA or microcontroller inside, just simple logic and RAM chips. Channels, it channels all those feelings we had plugging in home consoles from the 90s, like the RCA jack, a chunky cartridge going clunk as you slide it in, and wired controllers that the dog can trip over. There's none of this HDMI rubbish either. It is hooking up to a CRT like the good old days. Now,
I respect that, but I would still have an HDMI option. I think that's getting a little too brave, in my opinion. But the console itself looks great. I love the name, like you said. Even the font looks like something from like 1993.
Yeah, it does.
Which is really cool, and the controller looks. It's in the same shape of a Super Nintendo controller. So
yeah,
it's
and the console itself is sort of like cross between a Super Nintendo and like maybe a PlayStation 1 or something or something like that. It's got I like the blue color that it has. It just looks cool. Like it's straight out of the 90s.
Yeah, the way that it's shaped and kind of the little divots on the side make me think of the NES a little bit.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
But overall it gives me more like Super Nintendo PS1 kind of vibes.
But if you
want,
it
looks cool.
Go to crowdsupply.com/Clydeware and look up for the Game Tank. It says coming soon, but there's no price for it yet. So I can't imagine this thing is going to be more than $150.
No, I wouldn't think so. Yeah, there's not a ton of info on the Crowd Supply page, but definitely something to follow.
Yeah,
for sure. All right. From NintendoLife.com, the Legend of Zelda movie is now in production in New Zealand. Things appear to be chugging along nicely on Nintendo and Sony's live-action The Legend of Zelda movie, as the film has officially started shooting this week, thanks for the heads up from My Nintendo News. The film's listing on the Film and Television Industry Alliance website has seen a status update this week, with the former pre-production stamp changing to the much more promising in production. The main filming location is listed on the site as Wellington, New Zealand, a common spot for bringing fantasy lands to the big screen, as previously used for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Avatar, and King Kong. It also lists a project summary for the movie. A live-action adaptation of the video game franchise. The Legend of Zelda follows Link, a young warrior destined to protect the magical kingdom of Hyrule from the forces of darkness. The land is under threat from Ganon, a ruthless warlord who seeks the Triforce, an ancient relic said to grant limitless power. To stop him, Link must embark on a perilous journey, battling monstrous creatures, exploring treacherous dungeons, and solving intricate puzzles to uncover sacred artifacts that can aid him in his quest.
I dig it.
Yeah, and my first thought of reading that is the original Legend of Zelda game.
Yeah.
Which, and I'm going to do, when I'm on Christmas break, I'm actually going to put together a YouTube video on how I would book, or how I would basically do the Legend of Zelda movie trilogy.
Yeah.
So there's a little tease for something coming in early 2026, but I think what they need to do with this first movie, and it sounds like that's what they're going to do, is keep the story simple.
Yes.
Have Link come in as an outsider, which basically he does in the original Zelda game, if you remember reading the old manual. And I think it even says it in the opening crawl of the game. Yeah, Link's an outsider. Hyrule's already under attack by Ganon, and he has to find the Triforce pieces.
And make Hyrule feel real. Like, just as long as I can
Yes.
get Hyrule itself right, I'm okay with that.
And shooting in New Zealand is perfect. You know,
Yeah.
I know that it's going to get some Lord of the Rings comparisons, but I don't think that can really be avoided. It's the best place on the planet to
Yeah.
film a fantasy movie.
Yeah.
So I have a little more hope for it. And obviously I want to see a trailer first. And I want to know who's playing Ganon or Ganondorf, whichever iteration they go with. And that's another thing too, is I think Ganon should mostly be in human form for budgetary reasons.
Yeah.
Basically like Ocarina of Time, when he's on the ropes and he has no choice but to transform, that's when he becomes like full monster Ganon.
They still haven't put out any kind of casting or anything for him yet. That's weird.
Yeah, and that makes me wonder if it is just an unknown, or maybe it's just something they want to keep under wraps.
That's what I was thinking. They're probably want to try to keep as much of this under wraps as they can.
I believe in February is when, so the movie is supposed to be filming in New Zealand until April. February, I believe, is when the actual 40th anniversary of the first game is. They have to either release a trailer or some kind of behind the scenes featurette of the movie. They have to do it.
Yeah, they have
If
to.
they don't, I'm going to invade the set. I'm going to fly to New Zealand and I'm going to take my drone. I'm going to take my cameras. I'm going to put together a behind the scenes featurette myself.
Yeah, I don't think they would miss that opportunity to do that. I think you're absolutely 100% right.
But yeah, this will definitely be something that we follow closely.
Yeah. Next story is also from NintendoLife.com. The Atari 50 Pac-Man expansion launches on Switch next week, which is probably this week. Let's see. Atari has announced that the Namco Legendary Pack expansion for Atari 50 and the Anniversary Collection will launch on Switch on the 13th of November, 2025, which is what, Thursday?
This Thursday.
The DLC will include the Atari 2600 version of Pac-Man, which is the worst version of Pac-Man you could possibly put on anything. Really?
Why would you list that first?
Yeah, no,
if
why?
you're going to put it on there, why would you put it as the first thing?
We're going to give you the worst version of Pac-Man. Yeah.
And half the people stopped listening to the list after that.
Alongside the likes of Galaga Dig Dug, Xevious, and Galaxian from the Atari 2600, 5200, and 7800. In addition, a new timeline will be added to include even more interviews, documents, and archival footage to peruse at your leisure. The DLC will cost $7.99 in the U.S., though pricing in other regions has yet to be confirmed.
I mean, minus the 2600 version of Pac-Man, this actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, and it says here that it's already had two. I still haven't gotten the Atari 50 Anniversary Collection yet, which I'm slapping myself because I haven't gotten it yet. It already had two expansions so far, the Wider World of Atari and the First Console War, and contains well over 100 playable titles alongside a plethora of documentary material. I need this. That's going to be my Christmas present to myself this year.
DZE21 says no ET. They blew it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to put the Atari 2600 version of Pac-Man, why not? Just double down. Like, own up to the fact that you're putting some of the worst games ever made out on your collection.
And that's the thing, man. That's why I don't really do any kind of reviews for Atari games. Because let's be honest, everybody. Let's just be honest with ourselves. The Atari was my very first console. Me and my brother got one for Christmas in 1983 when it was like 20. My parents, it was like, oh, you got video game, and knowing they only paid like $20 for it in the bargain bin because of the video game crash. but there's only like five, maybe five good playable games for the Atari. The Atari is just not a good system. The games themselves were great in the arcade, but man, they're terrible on the Atari.
Yeah, and I think some of it is, a product of the time. This was before Nintendo came along and kind of changed everything as far as the home console market. But yeah, when you think of like early 80s, it's arcade
Yeah.
that you go to.
Nick in the chat room says Pac-Man on the Atari can't be that bad. Dude, it is so terrible. I mean, it was the proof of concept. Like it wasn't even supposed to be the game. It was a proof of concept that they were like, "Okay, well let's just put that out as the game." And it was awful.
Yeah, Lock
Let's
and
see.
Chase on the Atari.
Yeah, Lock and Chase was okay. It's like a Pac-Man clone. It's pretty good. Nick says Missile Command, Pong, those are good. Also, River Raid's pretty good on the Atari, and Pitfall is good. So other than that, I can't really think of anything else that was any good on the Atari.
Yeah, I'm not as knowledgeable on the Atari, so
You're not missing
I'm not
much.
really going to be much help.
You're not missing much.
Let's see. Next up from NintendoLife.com, Nintendo releases a storefront app for Android and iOS. Nintendo has launched a storefront app simply titled Nintendo Store for Android and iOS, letting you browse everything including eShop titles, accessories, amiibo, apparel, and more. Originally available exclusively in Japan as the My Nintendo app, this has now been updated and reworked for worldwide use. It's not quite a dedicated experience, mind you, since clicking on any given product will take you through to the relevant page in your default browser. That said, it's a good way to quickly see what's new and on offer, particularly if you enable notifications for new sales. You can also review your play activity for the Switch, Switch 2, 3DS, and Wii U. Why they would put that on there, I have no idea. For the latter two systems, you'll need to ensure you link your Nintendo Network ID with your Nintendo account, with play activity available prior to February of 2020. Interesting. So yeah, Nintendo.
Let me ask you
not
something.
Only,
what is this for? I mean, really?
I don't know. I don't even have anything witty, or at least pretending to be witty to say about that.
I mean, if they're gonna do something, Nintendo, I mean, I don't know. Nintendo just seems so far behind the times when it comes to the internet itself. So,
well, you remember last week we were talking about when we were doing gaming history, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection that was in like the mid 2000s after, years after Microsoft had released the Xbox. I mean, PC gaming obviously had been around for forever, but yeah, they've just been 5 to 8 years behind everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I already have, a Nintendo app on the phone for the Switch. I don't even remember what it was for. Or I think. Was it an app?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, it says here on the key features, one of them is get the latest info on games. Didn't they release an app recently called like Nintendo Today?
That's what I was thinking. I don't remember.
I think I may still have it. Let me look real quick. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called.
But I mean, I can understand if you have a Nintendo store, because Game Pass sort of does the same thing. They have like a little Game Pass app that you can go on there and look up games and actually download them directly to your console if you're not at home, which is really cool to do. But Nintendo's not good at the internet. Like, I can't see them doing, like, they can barely run their store at this point, like, without messing it up.
So on the Apple Store, the Nintendo Store app has 53 reviews and has an average rating of 3.5 stars out of 5.
All right, then.
Take that for what you will.
All right. Well, let's move on to the last story, and this one you put in here just a few minutes ago. From VideoGamesChronicle.com, Nintendo Direct confirmed for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. The new Mario Galaxy movie trailer will premiere this week at it will begin at the Nintendo Direct will begin at 6 a.m. Pacific time and 2 p.m. What is GMT? What is that?
Maybe UK time?
Maybe, yeah, I think UK time, whatever that is, via YouTube and the Nintendo Today app, which is what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
In an announcement for the Direct published on Monday, Nintendo included the brand new movie artwork, and also was first announced via a short teaser included in September's Direct. It confirmed that the film will release in April 2026. Nintendo and Illumination announced that returning voice actors will be Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key, and Kevin Michael Richardson will be returning as voice actors.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I know we were just kind of bashing Nintendo, but
Yeah.
we both loved the Super Mario Brothers movie. It was exactly what it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised a little bit, but I'm also excited that this is going to be like a Mario Galaxy story. I mean, they kind of teased it in the first movie with Peach not really knowing where she's from, having these kind of vague memories of when she was really young. I will say there are some spoilers as far as how certain characters are going to look and certain characters that are going to be in the movie. Out of respect to those who don't want to know, I'm not going to say it, but it's easily findable. I will say that.
I think Nintendo really missed an opportunity by not calling this movie Super Mario Brothers 2, Doki Doki Panic.
That would have been great.
I would have loved that.
Oh, same. That's some real insider baseball there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but obviously we know that Yoshi's going to be in the movie because they teased it as the post-credit scene. So I'm really excited for that. I'm excited about the upcoming video game movie slate. I mean, we've got this coming out in April. In 2027, we'll have Sonic 4, which is rumored to have like almost double the effects budget.
Wow.
That Sonic 3 had, which makes me think we might get a few new, instead of just introducing 1 to 2 new characters, we might get like 4 or 5.
Yeah, and I really like the TV show that they had too for Knuckles. Was it Knuckles?
Yeah,
the TV show.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that. So I wish they would do another season of that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility, and I think also we'll get a Shadow spinoff at some point. We'll definitely get more video game properties, whether they're just spinoffs or new stuff.
And this is only 5 months away, 5.5 months away. April 2026. That's close.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm excited for the trailer, though.
I know. I'm ready to see it. I need to go back and I still need to get the Mario Brothers movie on like DVD or something. I still haven't even gotten it.
I do too. I need to get that and Sonic 3.
Yeah. Well, I don't even have Sonic 3 either. What am I doing? I'm such a horrible fan.
Nah, it's okay.
But that brings to the end of the news, and now it's time for this month in video game history. In November of 1980, Atari releases first-person 3D tank shooter Battlezone.
Would this be on your go-to list for Atari games, as we were talking about that earlier?
I don't remember Battlezone. I don't think this was on the Atari 2600. Well, yeah, it says it was, but I never played it. And looking at the console itself, I've never seen one of these. Because it's got like
I haven't either.
The two joysticks that you control it like a tank, and you got to put your face in there. It's like they really want you to feel like you're in a tank, I guess.
Yeah, it says here it was distributed by Sega and Taito.
Yeah, I don't. I
and
never
sold
played this.
15,000 cabinets.
That's not very many. I mean, yeah, that's a lot, but still,
Let's see. With its use of three-dimensional vector graphics, the game is considered to be the first true 3D arcade game that has a first-person perspective, the first big 3D success in the video game industry.
I'm surprised they didn't brand that for Tron. Remember the Tron tanks in the movie?
Mhm.
They could have had a Tron tank game. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I get sad when we talk about Tron.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the new movie.
I haven't either. I saw a funny meme about it that said, you know the meme of like Homer Simpson as a kid where he's watching TV, and then it fast forwards to him as an adult, and he's kind of watching the same thing.
Yeah,
There's one that says like me at 14 and Tron was a box office flop. Me
yeah,
as an adult and Tron Legacy was a box office flop. Then me as an even older person and
Yeah.
Tron Ares is a box office flop.
yeah. I think Tron's pretty much done with at this point.
I'm gonna blame Jared Leto.
Yeah,
Personally.
let's all blame Jared Leto for everything.
Yeah, that works for me. November 19th of 1998, Valve releases a little-known game called Half-Life for Windows.
We might have to do Half-Life for a review one of these days.
Yeah, I think we should do a dual review for
Yeah.
this.
That sounds like a good idea.
We could put this on the docket for 2026.
I'm for it. November 9th of 2004, Bungie and Microsoft released Halo 2 for the Xbox. I think 21 years ago, they released Halo 2.
Yep, 21 years ago yesterday, if you're watching live or listening to this the night it drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halo 2 could legally drink. I might be in the minority, I might be in the majority, I don't know. But my personal opinion, Halo 2 had the best campaign out of all of them.
I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
The
I love
multiplayer
the-
obviously was great, but
I love the Arbiter.
yeah.
He's such a good character.
Mm-hmm. I
He
love
was-
Halo 2.
And he was voiced by Keith David, wasn't he?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Keith David voicing your character. I mean, you're automatically going to be, up there as one of the best characters ever when you're voiced by Keith freaking David.
Oh, 100%. And last but not least for this month in video game history, this one hurts to say, I'll just preface it. November 22nd of 2005, in just a couple of weeks, this will be 20 years old. Microsoft releases the Xbox 360 as a successor to the original Xbox.
The Xbox 360 is officially retro, everybody, as of the 22nd. How does it feel to be really old?
That's going to do it for my run here on the Nerd Gamer. I'm kidding. I feel like I'm noticing it more this year than any other as far as things like hitting milestones. People that I grew up watching are like getting older or, retiring, getting sick, dying.
Yeah.
We've seen it in the entertainment world all year with like Ozzy Osbourne and others that have passed away. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm about to be in my 40s.
Yeah. How do you think I feel? I'm about to be in my 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't say anything.
And Nick in the chat room says 2027, we're also getting a new Simpsons movie.
20 years after the first Simpsons movie.
Wow. That's crazy.
I remember me and a group of friends, we went opening night to go see the Simpsons movie, and that theater was packed. This was before like reserved seating and everything. So like you had to get to the theater early. And luckily we found like just the right number of seats in like the top corner of the theater. And it was good. Like I enjoyed the Simpsons movie.
Spider Pig. Spider Pig.
Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does.
And DZE2 says that damn red ring cost me to buy 3 Xbox 360. Same.
Oof.
The very first one I bought red ringed, I packed it up, sent it back. They sent it back, and it red ringed again like 6 months later or so. So I just said screw it and went and bought an Xbox 360 Elite.
Yeah. I got hit with the red ring once. And it was how long was it? Maybe like 2 years into it. So it had a fairly decent run. And then I didn't even bother sending it off because I think by then one of the special edition Xboxes came out. I think it was the Halo Reach edition.
Yeah. And that was
anyway,
the second,
I got that one.
And I had to send back my original Xbox too, back when I had it, because the apartment I was living in had faulty wiring. And I came home one day and all of our electronics in the house were fried because the electronics, because of the bad wiring in the building. So I lost 2 TVs, an Xbox, my roommate lost his original PlayStation. So I called up Xbox, and that was the first time I had to send one back. I sent it to them, and they just sent me a new one. Like they were just, this thing's fried.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that sucked.
Don't spare no expense on electricity if you're building a place.
Blew every light bulb in the place too. We had to replace all the light bulbs. It was awful.
That's awful.
But yep, adulthood, everybody, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But that's gonna bring
being an adult's great, they said.
Yeah, no, you know what? I want to give mine back. This free trial is not for me. But
this decade's free trial.
It's going to bring us to the end of this month of video game history. And Derek, would you like to do our Patreon shout-outs before we go into the review this evening?
Sure. As always, we like to shout out our awesome patrons over at patreon.com/nerdcaveretro. Sorry, I had a little bit of a little mic issue there. We want to shout out OmniSlick, still one of the coolest Patreon names I can think of. Alex the Alley Cat, Michael Patrick, Justin Nispel, Riley, the official NCR fact checker, Mr. Wally Phelps, Nick W., Eld the Zombie, Yup Fed, a.k.a. Knife, Raven, Daniel Salmon, a.k.a. Bethany Fox, our amazing Discord community manager, Mr. B-Res Coffee himself, Mike Eveland, the fact checker to the fact checker, Tyler the Wordsmith Watson, Axblade07, the official NCR beat writer, Armez Jackson, Carlos Longoria, a.k.a. I am the Rampage! Staff Sergeant Sketch, Gus and Penny, Matthew Salmon, the American Salad, Venus, the golf instructor, instructed Shooter McGavin himself, the Potato, the Dream Chaser, violinist, pianist, and overall enjoyer of music, Joey Image.
I love the prop you brought out. If you're not watching this on video right now, Derek brought out the old school microphone.
Funny enough, this is actually a shower head.
Really?
That my aunt got me for Christmas years ago.
Wow.
And I found it a couple of weeks ago, and it just instantly, like, I've got to use that for Joey's intro. And I've been forgetting it over the last couple of weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And last but not least,
Mama Diamond.
Donna Diamond, thank you all so much for your continued support and keeping the lights on for us here at the Nerd Cave Retro Podcast. I say this every week. I might as well just pre-record it, and then you can play it. But no, that would take the fun out of it. For as little as $1 a month, you get your own personal RSS feed for whatever podcast app you use with 0 ads.
None.
That's 0. If you want to listen to this conversation completely uninterrupted, it just costs you $1 a month. And you also get early access to our bonus episodes, which include roundtables. We recently did a Friday the 13th roundtable, and I feel like with the commentary tracks, the worse the movie or show is, the more fun that the discussion is. Yeah, the first Friday the 13th did not age well.
Yeah,
We'll
as
say
far as
that.
commentary tracks do, I still say we need to do a whole separate show of just Thunder in Paradise. Like that is the worst show I've ever seen in my life, and I would love to do every single episode with you guys.
I was about to say every episode of the podcast would just be a review of an episode. That would be some grade A content for sure. But you could check out our discussions on Thunder in Paradise, other shows like Gargoyles, Tailspin, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Real Ghostbusters, full-length movies like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which I'm about to break out of the archive in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, the possibilities are endless as far as what we can do in the future. So if you want to be a part of our awesome Patreon community, just head over to patreon.com/nerdcaveretro. And for new patrons, be sure to send us your social media info so we can give you a proper shout out.
And tonight, we're going to be talking about it's so jaunty.
I love the music in this game. I'm not going to lie. So, if you're watching on YouTube, you obviously see the graphic, but we're going to do a revisit of a game that, for some reason, keeps finding its way back into my life for some reason or another, and that is Krusty's Super Fun House, which it was originally released in '92 for the NES, but the Super Nintendo version, because they put Super in like every title, is called Krusty Super Fun House.
Okay, because I was looking at the box art here on the Wikipedia. I played the original for the NES, just Krusty's Fun House, and I don't remember much about. I do remember renting it because I love The Simpsons. I remember playing Bart versus the Space Mutants and Krusty's Fun, because I love The Simpsons back then. And here's the thing: I was like, what? When did the Simpsons first episode premiere? Like 1990. So I was 13 years old when The Simpsons came out. Now that's not including the Tracy Ullman show.
Right. Yeah, it says here it debuted December 17th, 1989. So
Yeah, pretty much.
it's really close to 1990.
But just think, I was like 13 years old when The Simpsons came out. So The Simpsons were like huge at this time. And I remember really liking Bart versus the Space Mutants, but playing it as an adult, these Simpsons games, a lot of them don't hold up. So I'm very curious to see what you have to say about this one.
Well, we'll definitely get to that. So, like you, growing up, The Simpsons have been around for, I was 3 years old when The Simpsons debuted. And funny enough, I wasn't introduced to The Simpsons until like the mid to late 90s. And by then it was airing in syndication, so you could really find it anywhere. And I went through a phase of, I'd say about a year, where I was really, really into The Simpsons. And I remember getting this game because like Krusty was one of my favorite characters. So obviously I was drawn to it for that particular reason.
Yeah.
Played the game and I remembered liking it, but not loving it. So, and I never beat it as a kid, but it's one of those games that every few years, when I think of like revisiting old games that, I haven't played in a long time, this is one that tends to pop up, which doesn't make sense. Cause like, if I tell you that I'm going to play like Link to the Past again, or Mario Brothers 2 again, like it makes sense because I've talked a lot about those games on this show. And, when we've talked off the show as well. And I reviewed this game years ago on the podcast. I think it was like the summer of 2018
Hmm.
when I reviewed it for the first time. But at that point, I still hadn't beat it yet.
I don't remember that at all.
So, funny enough, I remember that because I was in Philadelphia for Podcast Movement, the big
Hmm.
yearly podcast convention,
Yeah.
because I remember doing the show from my hotel room because we were still like we weren't doing video yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So all I had to take was a recorder and a microphone. Those were the days. Um, but as far as my thoughts on the game itself, to kind of get into it, the story is rats have taken over Krusty's funhouse, and you have to go through different areas of it to exterminate them. Now, the kicker of this game is that you don't directly attack the rats. You have to basically coax them into walking into different traps, whether it's using blocks, air vents, other things like that to kind of impede or redirect their progress. Your attacks are very limited. There are enemies that can attack you, and you have the means to reciprocate. Your default weapon, given that Krusty is a clown, are pies that you'll throw at different enemies. And each section of the funhouse is different. So the first area is kind of like your general, like almost like an introduction to the game. And then you get into like a more mechanical kind of setting. You go into the basement. And then the final area is like the outdoor area of the funhouse. And each section has a different Simpsons character that is set up at different traps to help you exterminate the rats. It's usually, well, not usually. Bart is there, obviously. And some of the traps are pretty funny. I remember the first one, when you lead the rats into a trap, Bart just takes like a giant hammer and just squashes them. In the mechanical section, Homer shoots them with laser beams. There's who are the other characters? Sideshow Mel is one. Then I think Corporal Punishment is the fourth one, and then Bart comes back for the fifth section, where you basically run the rats through like a cheese grater.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised PETA didn't have something to say about this game.
I think that may have kind of slid under their radar. So this game was made by Acclaim, which it was a pretty prominent name, I feel like. Like, not maybe on the level of like a Capcom, but you knew the name Acclaim back in the early to mid 90s. So chances are the game was going to be pretty good. I will say this game is very simple to play. In a way, I feel like it's made for both younger and older audiences. And I say that because the game is so simple, because you really only do two things. You jump and you attack. And that's literally it. Well, and you can pick up the different blocks and whatnot that you can, set down in different areas to redirect the rat's progress.
But it's kind of like a puzzle time waster kind of game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep, that's exactly it.
I'm starting to get back vague memories of how this game played. And it's crazy. I'm looking at the thing here. It says between 91 and 93, there were 9 video games about The Simpsons that were released. That's a lot of freaking games in a 2-year period.
I mean, The Simpsons, though, were such a huge pop culture thing. Like, I totally get it. I mean, the show's still going today with no signs of slowing down.
Yeah.
I remember we always thought that we wouldn't get a Simpsons movie until the show ended. But then they made their first movie in 2007. We're like, okay, well, maybe the show will continue for another couple of years and then we'll get more movies. And here we are almost 20 years later, and it's still going.
Yep. No signs of stopping anytime soon.
It's really incredible. Like, I don't think we will ever see a show like this again.
But as many video games as they put out for The Simpsons, why, oh why, did they not put out the best Simpsons games that was ever made to a home console? you got to admit that the arcade Simpsons game is one of the best arcade games, fighter games of all time. I mean, it was up there with Ninja Turtles, X-Men, because it was a 4-player game. You could play as Bart, Marge, Lisa, or Homer, and they each had their different weapons. And I remember when that game first came out, you couldn't get near that machine at Aladdin's Castle. It was the most popular machine in the place for months.
It's in my top 5 of best arcade games ever made. And I know I'm a 90s kid, so my list might be different than yours or somebody else's, but yeah, I would put it's in the same tier to me as the Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah.
I obviously like the Ninja Turtles game more, but The Simpsons is just as good.
Yeah, and how they never ported that to the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis or anything was just blew my mind. Like all the video games, all the crap games that came out for the Simpsons, and they never put the best one out for home consoles is just that's Nintendo level incompetence right there.
I can't answer that question. I have no idea why they never did. But yeah, getting back to Krusty Super Funhouse, I said it's made for kind of both audiences. For the younger audiences, because it's fairly simple to pick up. I'll say it's very simple to pick up and learn. I say it's for older audiences because this is a long, long game. Between the 5 sections of the Funhouse, there are over 60 puzzles that you have to solve. And the difficulty, it gets gradually harder, obviously, but it's not very jarring. Mm-hmm. But the amount of puzzles between sections is jarring. So in the first section, there's, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8, if I remember right. And then there's a few more for section 2, and then when the third one hits, you see all these doors that you can go into to go to the different areas, and I'm just like, oh boy. I put in my notes here, so pack a lunch and maybe a snack or two if you decide to play this game, because you could get sucked in for a pretty good while.
Yeah.
I do think, despite the length of this game, you hit the nail on the head, is that it's a great puzzle / time waster kind of game. And especially with having save states, depending on whatever means you choose to play this game. Because this game doesn't have a save system.
Ugh.
And you know what that means.
Oh. Oh.
The dreaded password system.
Why?
That you get after beating each section.
I mean,
I will say, the way you get the password is kind of funny. So once you complete an area, you go back out into the main hub of the Funhouse, and then this like close-up graphic of Krusty looking creepy as all get out holds this diploma, and it has the password on it. So and there is a password that you can enter into the game that will give you unlimited ammo and unlimited lives, which I will say I used. So
hey, we got to use whatever cheats we can these days, because these games were hard, man.
Yeah, that they were. You heard in the intro, the music is very catchy. All the tracks have this certain kind of like carnival or circus kind of feel to all of them, and some are more upbeat and some aren't as much.
Yeah.
But I enjoy all the tracks in the game. There's not that many. Funny enough, I was listening to the soundtrack on YouTube the other day, and the whole thing is like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
There's only a few tracks, but I enjoy all of them. So I also think the graphics are solid for a Super Nintendo game, especially because with all the Simpsons characters being bright yellow, the yellow really pops. in this game. Really, all the colors do too, because depending on what section you go into, some of the colors are more vibrant. Like when you get into the basement section, you have like your dark blues, your greens, but even those pop just like the reds and the yellows and the light blues. So it looks really good, I think, for a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
And that style is timeless, as we've talked about numerous times on the podcast. But I will say I don't have much to complain about this game other than some of the puzzles can get a little repetitive. One thing I like that they do is for the simpler puzzles, there are more rats in said room. So if you just have to move like 2 blocks and then you put the rats in the trap, there's like 6 to 8 rats that you have to corral.
Yeah.
With some of the more complex ones, you get like 1 or 2 that'll there's a rat hole in every stage where they come out of, and you can usually tell by the number of rats how difficult the puzzle's going to be. There's one where it's literally just one rat where you have to make the rat drop down 2 holes, move an air vent, then move another air vent, and then put it under a certain pipe so that it shoots the rat up into the pipe and then into Homer's trap.
This seems like it would be a pretty fun game if they just re-release this for the Switch, on the as for purchase on the store, or even in the Super Nintendo, online service, because these long games like this, like just having a save state, just makes these games so much better. Especially these very, very long games that never gave you a save system.
Yeah, especially when you get to later on in the game when there are so many puzzles that you have to solve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, save state made this experience so much better.
We had the technology. Why would we not do that?
All companies lost their excuse after The Legend of Zelda came out.
That's what I was just thinking. Like, if you had a game after The Legend of Zelda and it was a long game without a save system, it's literally a watch battery. How expensive are watch batteries? They're like a quarter of a penny for a watch battery. And if you didn't put that in your game as a save state, you're automatically getting docked 2 points off of our grading system.
That does bring my score down a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And one last thing I will say before I kind of give my number score and put a bow on this. This game, so when I play a game that's based in a universe that's like a movie or a TV show, that's the first thing I look for is how accurately does it capture the feel of said universe, whether it's Spider-Man, whether it's something that's adapted. This does a good job of making you feel like you're in the world of The Simpsons.
Yeah,
like
it's easy to do that because it lends itself so well to video games. But I would, it felt like a lot of the games were just shovelware. Like they were just so slapped together and just thrown out there. You get a good one like this, and it's like, oh, this is a good one. And hit and run is great.
It can be done. Yeah, and OmniSlick hit the nail on the head. Passwords and being a kid didn't mix well. Always lost my notes.
You know what always messed me up with passwords when I was a kid, especially like Metroid or something like that, when they would have it, when you couldn't tell if it was a 0 or a 1, or they had uppercase and lowercase passwords. So you literally had to like have your own system of writing it down so you know what was uppercase, what was lowercase, if it was a 0 or an O, you didn't know what it was. And
those were the worst.
Oh, terrible.
You mentioning that makes me think of I've recently played through Zelda Oracle of Ages and Seasons, and the games are linked together using passwords. So like if you play through Oracle of Seasons, you get a password at the end that you can enter into the beginning of the game at Oracle of Ages, and it kind of brings, like it continues the story essentially.
Mhm.
It's not just numbers and like upper and lowercase letters. They add in symbols.
Those are the worst.
Four of them are the four symbols you get in a deck of playing cards, like the club,
Mm.
the spade, and I'm like, come on, man.
But
Was this necessary?
you know who had the best password system? Was basically Mega Man 2, where it would look just like, a what was that game? Connect 4. Remember, it looked like a Connect 4, and it just had different dots on different parts of the checkerboard. So you could literally just draw like the checkerboard and then put dots where the dots were supposed to be. And it was an easy password system. Like, why are you giving me symbols? Symbols and zeros and O's and exclamation points and ampersands. Like, no, go away with all that crap. Just give me a battery.
Should all just be binary code
Yeah.
if you're going to do a password system.
But that brings us to the end, huh?
Yeah, so just a quick look back
well,
at the reception of the game. Super Play Magazine gave the SNES version of Krusty a 79% rating and wrote, "It's actually pretty good fun to play, although perhaps more of a younger player-oriented game than anything else. Not one to set your heart on fire, but a good, solid game nevertheless." Super Play gave it, as I said, a 79%. Entertainment Weekly gave the Genesis or the Mega Drive version an A-. And Mean Machines gave the Super Nintendo version a 90%. It also won a Nintendo Power Award in '92 for Best Overall NES Game.
wow.
Which is saying quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, that's great.
I will say this is the most fun that I've had going back and playing the game because of save states. And that gave me a chance to actually complete the game.
Mm-hmm.
Of the Simpsons games that I've played, it's probably my favorite. It's a great, puzzle game. It's a great time waster, but one that you can keep going back to because the game is so lengthy. So I'm going to give this game, and I am going to factor in the password system. I'm going to give this game a solid 6.5.
That's not bad.
It's not out of this world, but it's a fun little gem of a game. If you like The Simpsons, definitely play it. If you're not a fan of The Simpsons, you probably won't like it, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, if you like puzzle style games, you might like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a try. I'm interested to try it now.
Yeah, you should.
But that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. And next week, I am going to push my review of UN Squadron a week for the Super Nintendo because I want another week to try and finish it. That game's so good. One of the very first games I ever rented for the Super Nintendo, and now I'm finally going to get to review it. But
right.
Next week, thanks to Knife and Halam Akbar in our Discord, I got inspired a little while ago to do top 5 sitcoms. And I asked Derek, he's like, hey, you want to do top 5 sitcoms next week? He said yes, so that's what we're going to do.
My exact words were, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this will be fun.
This is going to be fun. And who was, I think Nick jumped in the chat room, was like, I already did my list. I'm like, golly, we haven't even done the episode yet for this week. He's already got them up.
I love it.
But that's going to be fun. Next week, top 5 sitcoms. So get us your lists either over on Facebook. You can message us, or you send it to our email, nerdcaveretro@gmail.com. Or you can go to the Discord and go under the top 5 tab and leave them right there. We'll read it on the show. Yeah. So, Derek, what's going on in your world?
Not too much, actually. My role in the Wired for Sound movie is pretty much done. The movie's just being edited. If you want to follow kind of the latest on what's going on with it, you can go to facebook.com/wiredforsoundmovie. And I don't know, maybe I'll have something more in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, that's about it for now. Facebook.com/wiredforsoundmovie.
And if you want to go follow the new Instagram from my new band, it's called Arsa. And go check it out on Instagram, instagram.com/Arsa Prog Metal. So go check it out. We have a new T-shirt design up there too. You can go up there. And our first single, Incannabulum, is available right now on Bandcamp. We're just waiting for the okay to get released on YouTube Music and Spotify and all that stuff. So if you want to go listen to it now, you can go listen to it right there off the Bandcamp site. And if you like it, you want to give us some money, you can pay for it right there and get your own little MP3. You can play anytime you want right there on the Bandcamp. So go check it out. It's at Arsa Prog Metal on Instagram.
Yeah, it's a great song. I've listened to it a few times now, and it's good. Everybody should go check it out.
Thank you. We're going to be making a video over the holidays too, so that's going to be fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
That's going to be fun. Can't wait. I'm ready to get creative again.
Same.
But that's going to bring us to the end of this episode, and I guess that's about it, everybody. If you want to email us at nerdcaveretro@gmail.com. If you want to leave us a voice message, go to voicecast.app/NCR, and you don't have to sign up for anything. You just leave us a message right there on the site, and you can use a leave, and that's it. They won't ask you for any info or anything. If you want to, go to our link tree, it's nerdcaveretro.com. That'll take you everywhere you need to go. All the socials, all the ways to give us money, like Patreon, and the merch shop, which is at ncrmerch.com. We got all kind of designs for t-shirts, hats, magnets, bags. We've been selling a bunch of Master Blaster Runs Bartertown t-shirts, so go get you one of those. If you can't do it, I understand times are tough. Go leave us a review. It's free, and/or a 5-star rating on all podcasting platforms. Derek, please tell them what it's all about.
May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
Yes.
Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
All right, and that's an episode, everybody. I'm gonna put a little subscribe thing up here for the end as we're leaving. So go subscribe, everybody. If you're watching this and you haven't hit that like, subscribe button, all that good stuff. You want to keep watching the show every single week. We're here. Thank you all for hanging out with us. OmniSlick, Nick, DZ2, all you guys. Thank you for hanging out in the chat room. It was fun. And play our little outro thing here. We love all you guys, and we'll see you right here next week for Top 5 Sitcoms. Same bat